just sat up on a panel yesterday, the Undefeated, talking about the violence that's going on within our city, Chicago, never knowing that the next day we would be the ones that would be actually living and experiencing it.
August 28, 2016, Chicago police arrested two brothers in connection with the death of NBA star player Dwayne Wade's cousin Nykea Aldridge. Dwyane Surreal and Darren Surreal, both brothers, each have been charged with first-degree murder and first-degree attempted murder. Dwyane actually was charged with trespass too. Both men are Chicago gangbangers according to Chicago police. They both are being held without bond, a source close to the case had said during the time when this case first happened. Aldridge was killed on a Friday afternoon when she was caught in a crossfire of a shooting while pushing her infant child in a stroller near Dulles School of Excellence on the city's south side. That's the school that a lot of kids from Oblock go to.
Police collect evidence outside Dulles Elementary. It was here that 32-year-old Nykea Aldridge was pushing her newborn in a stroller in the middle of the afternoon when witnesses in a nearby housing complex heard gunshots.
About 5.
The mother of 4 was hit twice. Bullets, police say, were meant for the man she was walking with. 2 men were seen running from the school. Aldridge was rushed to Stroller Hospital, where grieving relatives consoled each other after learning she had died.
The child was about only 3 weeks old, was not injured, family members said. The Surreal brothers started shooting after one of them exchanged looks with a man who was dropping off a woman he picked up in the suburbs and driven to Chicago. The man was not an Uber driver as previously reported. He was just a guy who dropped people off and used his car to make money. The Surreals knew the man was not from the neighborhood and thought he might be an op and thought he might be armed. When he comes out of his vehicle, there are 2 offenders armed with handguns who began chasing him down and attempting to kill him, and they missed. They shot all these bullets at him. None hit him. They ended up killing the female. One of the bullets hit Aldridge in the head and another one struck her in the arm. She died about 45 minutes later at a hospital. She was near the school because she planned to register some of her 4 kids, the police said. A security guard at the school helped police identify one of the suspects, and the driver also cooperated with police.
2 brothers who police say are convicted felons out on parole were today charged with her murder.
School security cameras caught the whole thing. It helped them pick up the images of the suspects. Darren, he had 6 felony convictions and was on parole for a motor vehicle theft and escaped from custody when the shooting happened. He wore an ankle bracelet, but had taken it off during the period in which he was allowed to look for work. Dwyane was on parole for a gun charge. He had been sentenced to 6 years in January 2013, but was released early. The police superintendent said the judicial system needs to demand more accountability for people convicted of gun crimes. It's noteworthy because the 2 offenders are prime examples of the challenges we face in Chicago with repeated gun offenders who don't give a fuck about who they shoot, who life they take. They really don't care about shit. Wade, he was a 12-time NBA All-Star at the time when this happened. He actually went to Twitter and spoke about this. My cousin was killed today in Chicago, Wade said in one tweet. Another act of senseless gun violence. 4 kids lost their mom for no reason. Unreal. Enough is enough.
It's so hard for people to believe your cousin, Nykea Aldridge, walking down the street, pushing her baby in a stroller, signing up for her kids for school, and she gets shot. It must have been shocking.
Yeah, man, just hearing it again, it's tough. It was, I think, for our family, it was very tough. You know, so just the headlines alone. You know, mother walking down the street, you know, registering her kids in school, a mother of 4, you know, gets murdered. It's tough to deal with it.
Yeah, she was doing all the right things.
And it's kind of one of those moments, you know, for our family that it's like, this is not real. My cousin Nykea, I always say she was like the quiet one. You know, she would just be there. She would be about her kids. She would be about her family, but you never would know she's in the room. And it was shocking. It was shocking to hear not only that she was murdered, but it was shocking to hear the way and how. Her mother my auntie, my mother. The family is, is torn.
Wade had been an outspoken critic of rampant gun violence and took the stage at that year's ESPY Awards with fellow NBA star LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and Chris Paul took to the issues. He and his mother, Jolinda Wade, a Chicago pastor, also participated in the ESPN discussion on gun violence in America that was recorded at the YMCA in Chicago.
I just want all this senseless killing to stop. What is it doing to us?
Dwyane Aldridge lost her daughter Friday. 32-year-old Nykea Aldridge caught in the crossfire while pushing her newborn in a stroller. She was the cousin of NBA superstar Dwayne Wade, who took to social media. 4 kids lost their mom for no reason. Unreal. Enough is
According
enough.
to the Chicago Tribune, which chronicles every homicide in the city of Chicago, at least 455 people were killed in Chicago in the first 7 months of that year. 4 people have been killed and 24 injured in Chicago shootings since that week has happened. Very sad. Those guys were actually convicted of the death of Nykea Aldridge. Sad story. Dwayne Wade speaks on this on a lot of topics. A lot of people don't know Dwayne Wade had a lot of family in Chicago. Nykea was killed across the street from Oblock, one of the most dangerous neighborhoods. A lot of people don't talk about that. They just focus on the rappers and shit. But this was a crazy story. A mother going to be a fucking mother, registering her kids, minding her own business, doing what she got to do to be a parent, not knowing that it's a bunch of wild ass people who don't give a fuck about school, don't give a fuck about nobody getting into a gunfight. They wasn't shot. The person they shooting at wasn't shot. They didn't get hit with no bullets or none of that shit. But an innocent person who had nothing to do with this was the one whose life got touched. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. We got to be much better than that. This was one of the stories that left the world shook. Welcome to Chicago Stories.